Okay, let's discuss today's contest. So, first question was check if every row and column container all numbers. So, in this question, what we have to do, we have to check that if n value is 3, means if matrix is 3 cross 3, then we have to check that if every row contains 1 to n numbers and every column contains 1 to n numbers. For example, in this particular first example, n value is 3, right? So we have to check that every row contains 1, 2, 3 or not. So this row is containing 1, 2, 3. This row is also containing 1, 2, 3. This row also containing 1, 2, 3. And we have to check same thing for columns also. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is the question for this particular contest. And so actually this is in this particular problem we have to return true because this is satisfying the condition. And if we will look into the second example, this one, in this also n is equal to 3, but it's not satisfying the condition. We can clearly see that this particular row is only 1, 1, 1. It should be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 1 or something like that. So how we will solve this problem? The easiest way to solve this problem is check every row one at a time, right? Select first row, and if this row you are checking, so check like from 1 to n if all the things are there or not. You can use hash set as I used. So I will explain directly from the solution because this is a easy problem. So this is my solution. So what I did, I created I actually um, like calculated the n, and then I just looped from I is equal to 0 to n and stored everything in the hash set. And if hash set size after like first loop, means after checking for the first row from 6 to 8, if that row contains all the elements, means its size should be equal to n. And if it's less than n, that means some of the elements are repetitive, so we will return false. And same thing I did for the columns also. So you can clearly see that like I will explain only rows. So this is for first row, second row, this is a loop in rows, and for all the columns I'm checking. And if the upper hash set contains all the elements, then there is no need to return false, otherwise return false. So this is the first question we can solve. Now I will jump to the second question. Second question is minimum swaps to group all ones together. This is a tricky one and actually good one. So in this we have to swap the ones so that we can actually group all ones together. So what I did, so for example, I will explain the first example. So for example, 101100. So what they want, swaps in a way, minimum swaps, so that you're all the ones together. So in this particular example, you can clearly see that if we will swap these two, right? Our after swapping these two, our output will be like this. So we can see that all the ones are together. So only one swap is important, right? In this particular example. So one swap can give us the answer. So that's why the output is one for this. And for this particular example, we can clearly see that these two swaps are important, right? If we will swap these two, then these ones will come here and we will get our all the ones, 5 ones together. So how to solve this problem? So what I did, first I calculated all the number of ones, how many ones are there. So I'm just checking this particular example. So if so we can clearly see that there are number of I just looped once and checked all the number of ones. So number of ones is equal to 3 in this case. Okay. Now what I did, I used a sliding window of size 3. So this is our array, and I created a sliding window of size 3. So in this window, how many ones are there? Only one. Then I slided it. And if only one is there, so how many swaps is important for this window to be the answer? 2 swaps, because 2 zeros are there. There should be ones. They should be swapped with these 2 ones, right? So if this sliding window is our answer, there will be 2 swaps. So I'm maintaining some max, or sorry, not max, actually min. So minimum number swaps. So in this swaps is 2, right? Now I'm sliding our window to this one. Okay. So now in this 2 ones are already there. So only one swap is needed. So this 2 will change to 1. Now minimum 1 swap is remaining if this is our answer. Now slide it in this way. Same. This will be changed. So 1 remains same. Same for this sliding window. And this one, only one is there. So we have to swap these 2. So it's actually more than this minimum. So we will not change it. And we will keep on swapping, right? So when we slide and our window will exceed to the end, right? So means our array is till for this point, our window is sliding. So what we will do, we will use, this is our circular array. So this particular box will come here. Means what will happen, I will explain. So this is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So this is like this. Okay. So we will keep on sliding our window. And whenever starting of the window is in the end, we will stop. So in this way, we are actually satisfying the circular thing also. Means in this way, we are actually maintaining the circular in the sliding window. And this will give us our minimum answer. Okay. So this will be solved in this particular manner. Now we can jump to the problem number 3. Okay. So in problem number 3, we have to count words obtained after adding a letter. So this is a good one, but actually this was an implementation heavy only. So we can first I have to explain the problem. What is the problem? So I will explain using the example directly. So if this is the target word, okay. So what we want, there are 2 conditions, 2 conversations are there. So if we will pick any element from the start word, for example, ant, we will append something in the last. The character which we are appending should not be already there. For example, we cannot append A, we cannot append N, we cannot append D. We can append D, right? This is first condition. And in second condition, we can rearrange it in any way. Means whatever rearrangement is possible, we can do it. And after that rearrangement, if we are able to make this target word, okay, then this will be counted as a solution. Means one of the solution. This we have to return like how many words we can get, right? So this will contribute to our count. So for example, in this example, now confusion is there, like why tag is there, directly tag is there. So you will see that you can say that, yeah, we have tag, so this will contribute to our answer. No, because conversation operation 1, append is must. You have to append something first, then only you can rearrange. Without appending, if you are getting, that will not be the answer. Means tag will not be directly come to tag, but act can come to tag. How? Act is there, you will append K, and then when you will rearrange it, it can become tag. So that's why our tag will come from act, not tag. And for the act, we cannot use act, as I explained, right? So I have to just for act, we cannot directly use this one. This is not correct because we have to append something. And we don't have any 2 character letter here. So after appending, we cannot get act anyhow. So this will not contribute to our answer. And what about acti? Acti actually come from act plus appending I. So this will give us the answer, right? So what I did, I will explain using my solution. So that will help. Okay, I will go to my solution. So what I did, I created a hash set. Okay. And first I did like all implemented a for loop in start words and sorted every word. Like if this is act, so this is already sorted, right? If some word is there, like tech, I will sort it like act and insert it to our hash set. So why we are doing it? Because actually we have only thing matters for us is all the characters are there or not. And most important thing for this question is this condition, this constraint. No letter occurs more than one in any string. Like this cannot be a string because two A's are coming. That's why if you will sort it, it will be unique. Okay, getting? So that's why I sorted it and inserted into our hash set. Then to get our answer, I iterated through target words. And now the main thing is coming. For example, target word is tech. Okay, target word is tech. So, and we already maintained our hash set. If this is our hash set, some act is there. I have to actually take that example of a one, aunt, act, and tech. So after sorting, if we are inserting aunt, and tech, we have to sort first. So this will become A, C. I think T comes A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So KT, sorry. Okay, K, then T. So this is our hash set, right? Now, if this is our a target word, so what I will do, I will first ignore this particular character. So this is our string, right? Now I will sort it. After sorting it, it's same. And I will check if it's there in the hash set or not. It's not there. Leave it. Then I will ignore this A. Then our word is TCK, right? TCK sorted. So then it will become CKT. It's there in the hash set? No, it's not there in the hash set. Then I will remove C. So it will become TAK. Sorted. AKT. It's there. No, it's not there. Then remove K. So it's TAC. Sorted. ACT. It's there. Yes, it's there. So this particular target word is our answer. And why it's happening? Because why we are removing one by one? Because we in the question it's given that we have to append something. So appending means first remove it, then check it in the hash set. So in this way, you can solve this particular problem. So what I did, I actually removed one by one in here. So what I did using substring 0 to j and then j plus 1 to last. So in this way, I'm removing the jth element, means ignoring it. And then I'm sorting it here in the line 14 and 15. And in the 17, I am checking if it's there in the hash set, means start word set, then I'm increasing count, otherwise leaving it. Cool. Now we can jump to the last hard problem. This particular problem, this is actually amazing problem, and I took around 20 minutes in it. So how we can solve it? So there is first I will explain the problem. So what is the problem? There is some plant time array. I will directly explain with the example. There is one plant time array 143 and grow time array 231. So what that means? This is seeds, right? And this is the growth time for plant. Okay, so how things are happening? For example, this is one, right? So you will take one time for this first plant to seed, means one is number of days actually here, right? And for the second plant you will take 4 number of days. For the third plant you will take 3 number of days. And the most important thing is, in a single day, in a particular day, you can only plant one of the seeds. It's not like that you are planting this one also and this one also simultaneously. No, if you are planting this plant, you cannot plant this one. But the thing is, if you are planting this, right, you can finish it or leave it in between. But this is for one day, so you have to finish it in one day. But like for example, this is 4. So what can happen? I'm just explaining. This is plant 1 time series, and this is plant 2 time series. So what I will do, I will start planting 2 for 2 consecutive days, right? Then I will leave it. Then I will plant 1. Then I will again start planting 2. for 2 consecutive days. So 4 days are completed, 1 day is completed. This is possible. This is a possibility. And after that, whenever your plantation is done, means your seeds are done, then your plant will start growing, and then that can be simultaneous. For example, if this is finished here, it will start growing, and this finish here, it start going. This thing is simultaneous. Growth is simultaneously. That's possible. But plantation cannot be simultaneous. And the answer which you have to return is if number of days for seeds are given and growth time for every plant is given after seed is done, then you have to return the earliest possible day when all the plants will bloom, means all the plants will be fully grown. So for example, this you have planted here and it will finish something here, and this you planted here and it will finish something here. So this is the final day where all the plants will groom. Right? So what I did in this particular problem, earlier I was thinking something should be happen from this plant time, or what should be done. Then I thought this is the earliest day. This is something like min of max and max of min problem, right? And in this problem, we can actually apply binary search in answer. Binary search in answer. So what is this? This is very important concept, binary search in answer. So what is this concept? I will explain. So in binary search in answer, what it does, you assume some answer A, right? And then you will check if this answer is possible or not. For example, if I will assume that our flowers will bloom in 100 days, this is the minimum, then I will check if it is a possible or not. If it is possible, then I will try to reduce, try to optimize it. Means I will try to make it less number of days. Means if 100 is a possible answer, means everything in the right of 100 is also possible, but everything in the left of 100 is not possible. So it's something like 1 is not possible, 2 is not possible. This is not a right way. So means it's something like a problem where 0 0 0 0, then 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 is coming, and 1 is representing it's possible, and 0 is representing it's not possible, right? So this type of answer is there, right? So sorry for confusing here. Okay, so what we have to do, we will assume some answer. Okay, some answer, and then for example, this 100 days our answer, I just assumed, right? So if I assume that 100 days our answer, if this is a possible, then I will check in the left side, otherwise in the right side, and this is a binary search, right? So how to check that it's a possible or not? So that I will explain next. So let's assume 100 days an answer. We have to check if it's possible or not. So how I thought, this is something like 100 day. Okay. Then this can be parallelized growth time, right? So assume it like this. If everything will be grown at the end only, means in the 100th day, right? So this is 2, this is 3, and this is 1. This is growth time, I explained. This is the boundary, means 100 day. So first plant should be planted, should be seeded before this particular time, right? Second plant should be seeded before this particular time. Third plant should be seeded before this particular time, right? So what I will check, I have to start from the biggest, means this one, because this is the earliest finish line, right? So I will check if number of plant time which is before this. So if this is 100 and this is 3, so 97 is remaining here, right? And the number of seeds day is 4. So I will check if number of seeds they are less than the given or not. It's less. So there are sufficient number of days before this, right? We need only 4 and there are 97. So it's fine. Then next is this boundary line. And this will need 1 day only for seeding. So number of days we need for seeding for this plant also, and this plant is 1 plus 4 plus 1, 5. And how many we have? 98. If we will check from here to here, this is satisfying the condition 5 is less than 98. And same thing here. Next is this one, this boundary line. Number of seeds before this, how many we have to plant? 1 plus 4 plus 3. How many? 8. And number of days available is 99. So it's sufficient to plant, right? So in this way, all the things are planted and grown till 100 days. So this is a possible solution. Now we will do check for like the mid value of this. Final search is like this only. So 50, same thing we will do for 50. 50 is also possible answer. Then we will check for 25. And in this way, we will check and we will get our answer, right? So this is the solution for this particular problem. I will show you the code, how I coded. So what I did, this is our given API. So what I did, I found the length of the plant. I actually sorted the, I actually put all the plant time and growth time in the 2D array so that it's easy to sort. Because if you will look into it, so earlier when I explained this, right, to you, then you can look into it. I am just taking like in order, which is finishing first. I have to check that first, then second, then third. For this, sorting is needed, right? Based on the growth time, which is the largest growth time, it should be checked first. So that's why I actually put it into a 2D array and then sorted it. So after sorting it, I called the binary search with integer maximum. This is a maximum possible answer and 0. And then this is a binary search which I used. So if mid I take min plus max by 2. If min means this is a binary search basic condition. If it's this going, then actually I have to return min here. I should return min here, but I added 1. So it actually compensated our answer. Then I checked if our solution is possible or not. Mid solution is possible. So in possible solution, what I did the same thing which I explained you. One by one from the bigger, like which is finishing earlier, I checked if our condition of total plant time needed to total plant time given till that point is satisfying or not. If it's not satisfying, I'm returning false, otherwise true. So in this particular way, I solved the problem. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. I will definitely reply and we can discuss. Thank you for viewing. Thank you.